All right, I think we are back, and hopefully, we got some audio. Hopefully, the audio is there. I want to double check it. All right, I am back up, but I need to make sure my audio is right. Because my audio is right, we can move forward and we can jump right into it. Let me first lock this last one down. Probably I'll just move it to privacy because I want to see really what happened. Um, Save that. Make sure that we are where we need to be and that I can be heard. I'm going to give a couple people who I know are actually checking out the live. They told me they couldn't hear, which is a great thing because I can hear me, obviously, but it didn't feel like I was going out and then it kept muting out. So let me give it a second. Volume is a little low. All right, want to get the volume up a little bit. Hopefully, the volume is better. Appreciate that, John Henry. Volume was a little low. Hopefully, it's better. I need it to be clear. I don't want it to be just loud. I want it to be clear. And once I know I'm clear, then I'll move forward. Um, this is one of those streams where I'm going to go down some paths that I'm familiar with, and you guys are familiar with me going down those paths. I know it's late, and I really don't care that it's late. If you can hang with me, I appreciate it. If you can't, I understand. Closing out this year and really just trying to clean up some things to make sure going into 26 my direction is where I need it to be. Um, 25 was a good year. I mean, we're hitting 200 episodes before we get out of here for the corridor. I'll sleep on it and figure out whether I want to be in the corridor for 26 or if I'll just come up with another name for the lives. So the main thing for me right now is to get tonight off, which is episode 199, and get another episode off tomorrow, and I'll finish it up with 200 for the 2025 year. And I feel like we did some different things here. I didn't get up as much as I wanted to, but life happens. But I can't make that excuse in 26 because I've already made some commitments to be in certain spaces. So I've got to have this content ready to go wherever I'm at and push it out as much as I can to fulfill those commitments. So making sure that I'm where I need to be. What I want to do is I want to play a video before I get to cooking because this is something that obviously people know that in this community there are a lot of people who aren't sitting where we're sitting. Okay, they're not as fortunate to be housed, and where I don't really use the term unhoused, we've got people that are on the street, and there's people that are out there attempting to help the people that are on the street, and I'm effectively working with those people doing the real work, not just the political propaganda work, not just talking about it, but actually being about it and I do my part in what I can do, and hopefully it's helping along those lines, and we'll continue to do more in 26. But right now, there is a serious situation that is happening in Washtenaw County, and I want that to be known. And I'm going to play a video right now, and if you can just check this video out, please understand, this is not stock footage. This is not off in the wilderness. This is literally in Ypsilanti, in Depot Town. People know Depot Town. This is in Depot Town. So anybody that's under the sound of my voice right now that's in Washtenaw County, you know what Depot Town is. You know where Depot Town is. You've eaten over there. You've drank over there. You've gone to some dispensaries over there. You know, you've taken your walks. You've been around parades and things. You know Depot Town, and you know what it looks like on the main drag. Well, I want to take you what it looks like behind the main drag. And appreciate you, John Henry, for letting me know that the audio was low, and we got it back up, and it even sounds good on Facebook. So I think I'm good right now. But please check this out, and then we will move forward from this point after watching this video.
What y'all seeing behind us is really like the evidence of the failed policies that you hear us constantly scream into the void about. These homeless campsites are a lot closer to you than you would imagine. And even if not, the water is. So we're trying to bring light to the dangers, the reality that exists out here. This shit is real. It's a Michigan winter. There's ice, it's dangerous, it's slippery, it's dark, it's violent. The elements are constantly after you. There's animals, there's toxic crap and waste and all kind of shit. So we're just trying to bring some light to that and really bring change to prevent this kind of shit, bro. It's Michigan in the wintertime. People out here in tents, relying on pretty primitive ways of having to stay warm, constantly risking their health, their mental health, and their physical health just to survive from day to day. And when you talk to the folks in these campsites over and over and over again, there are some that want handouts and that just want to get high. The overwhelming narrative that we hear is that folks want work, they want dignified work.
Young brother Shihab Jackson exposing things that are going on in our community. I appreciate him for what he does out here. And some of the things that I saw in that video, they were disturbing, but they weren't surprising because I've seen things like that before. But it's right now. It's literally right now. It's not the middle of summer. And we know what the temperatures are right now. And to know that people are out there trying to stay warm, stay safe in these elements, it kind of puts things into perspective of how good we have it. And that's why no one should ever take for granted their situation, where they are. But I do appreciate Shihab. He gave me that. It's actually a rough draft. I begged for that because I wanted to get that on this cast. We're going to talk more about that, but what's happening right now, That's just one part. That's just one encampment. There's several around Washtenaw County, and there's been some that have been turned over, as if there's a place for these people to go. But that's happened where some homelessness encampments have been turned over, destroyed, as it were, pushing the people into other areas. But there's no shelter for them. There's no permanent shelter for these people. So I'm not sure exactly why those things come to pass, but they do. And this encampment is an active encampment that he was around, and obviously knows people and sees people there on a daily basis. And he's trying to get each of those individuals one by one off the street and into their own place to live, and help them with jobs and other resources. And I salute him for that, because it's an uphill battle, because there's just not a lot of people that are really pulling for this faction of our community. I know they say they are. I know there's a lot of propagandists out here, but people that are really doing the work out here, there's really not that many. So it is what it is. We'll talk more about it in a minute. I want to get right to the message, because I've kind of delayed everybody a little bit longer because of my technical difficulties. Coming up onto the screen here. I want to get to the message. I want to make sure that where we are, what I wanted to do tonight was talk about some things that are going on in Detroit. And I know that most of you remember, and I'm going to run the audio back. Most of you remember this that was going on not too long ago. I played this in one of my videos where I was in the vehicle, and what we're going to talk about tonight is even worse than that. You know, I never think these things are going to get worse when I hear them or hear about them, but this one is. This situation that I'm dealing with. Appreciate the like on Facebook. Please like the video. I don't generally ask folks to share the video, but I do want this video shared. Share it within your inbox. If you pull a share and it goes into someone else's network, maybe you don't share it publicly on your page, but inbox it to someone. Let someone else see it, hear it, and share it. But it's bad out here, y'all. Our kids they're at risk, okay? They're at risk. We're sending them into edifices of education, and they are at risk. So what I want to do right now is I want to play this audio that I had from a previous video and let you hear what was going on in Detroit. This is, I believe, was a person that was supposed to be a teacher at Munford High School, but he chose to take himself somewhere else and try to be something else.
To Fox 2 News at 10, I'm Jessica Dubnak. New tonight, a local gym teacher caught in a child predator sting. Police say he traveled an hour south to pay a teen girl for sexual favors, but he ended up in the arms of police instead. What'd you think of that mugshot? You look crazy. You're looking at 31-year-old Jacob Suter. His resume, big-time kicker at Bowling Green State University, gym teacher, and now accused sex offender. Most recently, he worked here at Mumford High School in Detroit, across the street from Kim's house. This grandma thinks it's all disgusting.
He should be thrown under, they always say under the bus, in jail, wherever. It's crazy. And I got an 8-year-old, I got 7 grandkids. And I just can't deal with this the things that some of these teachers do.
Per police, Suter thought he was talking to a teen girl who he offered to pay $60 for oral sex in his hometown of Maumee, Ohio, near Toledo. In the text exchange, he knew she was underage, vulgar in his words, but also said he'd, quote, pray for her.
Well, it's a good thing that they caught her when they did, because if it was one of mine, they wouldn't have to do nothing but call the morgue.
Police on their special operation moved in at their meetup spot in a parking lot. Big bond at first, $150,000, no 10%. It was lowered, and his dad bailed him out, literally.
My thing is, if he's out, he gonna do it again.
Detroit Public Schools put Suter on administrative leave. They're also doing an internal investigation and said in a statement, in part, they are not aware of any additional alleged victims connected to Mumford High School. Welcome to Facts.
So that was a little bit more than a month ago that I spoke on this, and it seems like I have one of these videos dealing with pedos once a month now. It really does. It seems like we have gotten to the point where we are about once a month where we're dealing with the type of situations where there's someone that's in a capacity of a teacher or a school faculty member, and they are attempting or actually taking advantage of children. Now, that was in November. And what I've learned over the last couple of days here, things that have been going on, and some of these things actually aren't currently going on with the same people because some of the people have moved on. But I was sent a bunch of information about some things that are happening in the city of Detroit. And let me get my screen share right here. Make sure before presenting this. Okay, I'm going to remove that. Move that from the studio. Before presenting is remove other media. All right. How about that? There we go. I was sent some things, and what I want to do is I want to play all of these clips. I want to get into the post, play the clips, and just really break some things out. But we're naming names tonight. There's names that are attached to these things. I'm putting the names out there, and I'm going to follow my brother here who's reporting on this, and I appreciate his help. Gave me a great conversation earlier today speaking on these situations, him understanding the vein that I'm in, me understanding the vein that he's in, and I look forward to working collectively and just being able to share his content, and hopefully he's going to do the same for me in the future, because what's happening right now is there's not enough of us out here. And I'm not trying to be big man on campus in any way, but I know that there's not enough people that are speaking outwardly. I mean, full-throated about these pedos. But this brother here, Michael Anderson, is doing so, and I appreciate him, SK Mikey, and we want to keep people like this who literally, I don't know how people are finding him, but he's done some things where people have come straight to him. And I've had individuals bring people to me, but he's literally got a situation where he'll get a call, he'll get a text, he'll get a DM, and it'll be somebody that's literally at risk on the line, and the mission starts right there. So I have no problem. I have absolutely no problem continuing to do what I do, and watching him do it the way he does. I want to help facilitate for victims out here because the victims are being left behind and the predators are winning. And the only way that you really know that the predators are winning was because it continues. When there's less predators and less victims, then we're doing better. But when this happens on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, for me, casting on it, that means it's happening 100 times more, 1,000 times more. I'm not catching every single story. I'm absolutely not. How you doing, Stay Bay? Just walked into the door from work. I appreciate you checking in. Redford High School, ID, the guy was a pedo. Okay. So we are going to listen to this first video, and I want to get this up here. Make sure that we're at the beginning of it. Hopefully the audio is clear, and we'll go from here. I don't really know much to say, other than I'm going to let Brother Michael cook, and then we'll come back and talk about it on the other side of it.
Yeah, dig this, man. DPS, y'all might as well go ahead and rally up the troops. They say this nigga here way worse than the other nigga. Thomas Welcher. Say he was the football coach, something. They said this motherfucker here is way, way worse than the other guy. They say this motherfucker telling the females, if you wear a two-piece, you get extra credit. In high school? Come on now. You saying that to high school girls? Yeah, y'all sick. And y'all letting this shit slide because he winning football games? It's fucking crazy. Hey, DPS, y'all need to rally them all up. Yeah, dig.
Listen to it again, and I'm going to stop it. But I know this individual. I know exactly who he is. Met him before. He's a football coach. Met him through my travels of coaching football. He played football in Ann Arbor. Played football at University of Michigan. And I can't say I met him when he actually played here, but I have met him in my coaching years. And I know people who know him. And he did some great coaching work over at Cass Tech in Detroit. But it seems that he was a bit busy doing some other things. And I'm going to tag allegedly, even though there are some definitive stories that prove it's not alleged. It's not alleged. It's true. And we'll talk about how he's probably been able to stay free because of some of these things. But let Brother Michael cook again, and then we will come back and talk about this some more.
This, man, DPS, y'all might as well go ahead and rally up the troops. They say this nigga here way worse than the other nigga.
Now, looking at this right here, he's not at Cass Tech. After his career at Cass Tech, he was actually given a job at Michigan State. And to go from playing football to coaching football and getting back elevated to actually be a member of a Division I football staff means he had a good record in football. Means he had a good career. He had some people that spoke up for him. You just don't go in and apply for that job, go for a job interview, and get hired. You have to be looked at as somebody who can benefit the program. Did they know about his history at DPS? I doubt it. He probably never would have got the job. Now, I know he got this job under Mel Tucker, and we know what happened to Mel Tucker at Michigan State. But this isn't the time to talk about Mel Tucker. This isn't the time to talk about his transgressions. This is all about Thomas Welcher. After being named the director of community and high school relations at Michigan State, he was probably let go when Mel Tucker was let go. They probably just clean sweeped him, put him all in the dustpan, got rid of him. But you would expect him to kind of resurface, right? Because he had been such a great coach for Cass Tech. You would expect him to come back, maybe even go back to Cass. I don't know. They probably had to get another coach because he left. So they got another coach. So he wasn't just going to be able to bump that guy. But how come he didn't go to some top powerhouse program? Why didn't they find a place for him in the DPSCD system? And the reason I think they didn't find a space for him in the DPSCD system is because they knew his history. You don't have these things happen without there being some history. And the one thing that I learned in watching Brother Michael, I have to dig a little bit deeper than his videos because that's where the truth is. But I want to have him cook again, and then we're going to stop it again, and then we're going to get into the comments of some of these posts because there's so much more.
Thomas Welcher. Say he was the football coach, something. They said this motherfucker here is way, way worse than the other guy. They say this motherfucker telling the females, if you wear a two-piece, you get extra credit.
If you wear a two-piece, you get extra credit. A two-piece what? A two-piece what? A bathing suit? A bikini? I mean, what are we talking about here? Why would you even be in that type of zone to have that type of conversation with a child? And you're propositioning a child that if they wear a two-piece, well, I don't know what two-piece, I don't, and I should have asked Michael when I talked to him earlier, like, what the hell is that? I mean, what is a two-piece? What you say there, Tink? Detroit is failing its children and people in general. It's part of why I left, and I'm going to always be from Brightmoor. Absolutely. Never turn away from where you're at, but I got kids, and it was my time to grow up. Absolutely. You have to. You can't subject your children to what you were subjected to if you were subjected to this type of trash. And Thomas Wilcher is trash. These situations are happening more and more, and they're happening with individuals who are put in positions of power. And as the football coach, and I'm sure he was a teacher at Cass Tech, he had power. He had power, he had pull, he had resources to do whatever he was doing while he was there. But this two-piece thing, I don't know exactly what that is, and I'll find out. But this is crazy that he said, hey, if you wear a two-piece, you get extra credit. How about if I do my work and I do some extra work, I get extra credit? Why am I being solicited? I mean, these kids were being solicited for extra credit, sexually solicited by someone that they should have been able to respect and revere and look up to. But no. We're going to get into the comments to show that they didn't respect or revere or look up to this individual.
In high school? Come on now. You saying that to high school girls? Yeah, y'all sick. And y'all letting this shit slide because he winning football games? It's fucking crazy.
Thomas Wilcher, former football player at University of Michigan, now former coach from Cass Tech, now former director of community and high school relations at Michigan State University. And I guess he's over at Harper Woods. I didn't double check to see if he's over there or not, but you better believe tomorrow I'm going to find out if he's over there, and I want to know what capacity he's in. Is he coaching football over there? Is he a teacher over there? Because maybe we need to let Harper Woods know what happened with Thomas over at Cass Tech, allegedly. But since that video is over, let's go right into the comments, okay? Let's go into the comments. It says all comments. This one right here, this is alarming, to say the least. This is alarming. Let me get that comment off the screen there, Tink. When you have something like this going on, I mean, what are you to do? This is young lady Sydney Davis. Mr. Hunter, Coach Wilcher, and Coach Dixon were all predators lurking around impressionable girls. We all knew they were odd, but being children, most of us didn't know they were groomers. I wasn't even a student of Mr. Hunter's. I only became familiar with him because it seemed like he was in the hallway talking to us more than he was in the room teaching. That's how he knew me when I went to GV. I mean, what the hell is going on here? That's not one, that's not two, but three. Not just Wilcher. There's a Mr. Hunter and there's a Coach Dixon. So that's three faculty members who are preying on young girls. Three. Always knew he was on that. Check Wilcher too. This is from Desmond Turner. Kanya Harold replying to Lisa Carter. I am, as a student there at Cass Tech, and I had him as a gym teacher in 2005 and 2006. I was a sophomore, and there was a senior in our class that always wore heels around him. She always had a nice silky wrap, and she had really bad acne. I don't know her name, but she was always under Wilcher. She never participated in gym activities, but it is really one to talk. But it is really the one to talk to. I wish I remember her name. Me too. Me too. Y'all need to look into Thomas Wilcher, coach from Cass Tech, as well. He was inappropriate with female students as well. Mr. Hunter was a creep. He used to compare me and my sister's breasts and looks. She was a senior when I was a freshman, and he'd say weird stuff to me. I used to skip his class, but when I went back a few years after graduating, he continuously flirted with me to the point I felt sick, and it brought back how uncomfortable he made me in the past. That was the last time I visited Cass Tech. Him and Coach Wilson were the creeps for sure when I was there. Now, I think she meant Coach Wilcher. And then yeah, they corrected it right there, Wilcher. More comments. Oh my God, one girl's story, and all this came out. Lord praying. Get Wilcher too. These are people that are just commenting on a post, y'all. They're just commenting on a post. I had him as a gym teacher. This is no rumor. He definitely told us girls that. Yes, it's true. I was literally in his class when he said that. So I wore a covered two-piece. Everyone knew. I went the whole semester not getting in the pool. I finally had to go for the final and wore a t-shirt and shorts. He's been doing this for years. I've been out of school for 20 years. Let me blow this up. I don't think that y'all can see this good. There we go. That better? I know him. I had him as a gym teacher at Cass as well. And I said they just now taking this serious. So this has been going on, and people have been talking about it for years. I hate his perverted ass. And I love swimming before his class. Oh, I went backwards. 1 second. I'm here to confirm that this was happening. I was at Cass Tech from 04 to 08. I took his class and only touched the pool once. He was gross, and everybody knew it. Hopefully you're still seeing these clearly. Hopefully my audio has stayed good. He been said that this old news, he for sure was in the lady's face, and some of the girls were in his face because he had colored eyes. I believe one girl's parent reported him, but nothing happened. As a former student in his swim class, I never heard him say this. He actually told girls in front of the entire class, we must wear one pieces, no two pieces. So I'm very curious to know who these students actually heard him, because from my experience, it wasn't many girls swimming because they didn't want to mess their hair up, so they were skipping class together. So we're going to need to see who's saying this before we jump on a bandwagon. And I had him in 2009 second hour gym class. Uh-oh. Look in the comments and the shares and the other posts. You will find plenty. Just because it wasn't said to you doesn't mean it wasn't said. Good thing you didn't have to endure what they did. Absolutely. To come in and doubt a victim. I don't think anybody is in a position to doubt a victim. I can't stand to hear someone doubt a victim. Now, I know some stories are far-fetched, but we've got way too many people in here that are saying this for someone to just come in and cast doubt and say, oh, no, it didn't get said because it didn't get said to me. Now, I don't know exactly, maybe this person wasn't seen as attractive, even though you shouldn't see any child attractive, but maybe this child wasn't seen attractive to Thomas Wilcher. But for some reason, they want to come in and cast doubt. And I don't play that. You don't know what I've endured, so you can stop there. I've read responses of people that say they remember him saying this and no one's saying any details. What class? Niggas ain't have no swim class for 4 years. We had 30-plus kids in our class, and everyone knew about the rumor. When the syllabus for class came for swim, he was very clear on no two pieces for the girls. I'm not saying he didn't do anything inappropriate or that he did, but it's a lot of people that are speaking on things heard and observed, but not getting to the real issue. Fuck the bathing suit rumor. What's up with the girl they claiming that was under him? It's way deeper than a two-piece. People are missing the point. Like I said, my class was second hour 2009. People should drop the classes so they can check the transcripts on who was passing and wasn't and find out why. Okay, now she's trying to be a sleuth about grades and transcripts and shit. I'm not sure exactly what's up with the sleuth nature. Don't really care about it either, because she's trying to discount victims, in these situations, which is just odd to me because it didn't get said to her. You seem like you're trying to argue, saying, stop there. I wasn't even going at you in no way. Have a good day. I will, and yes, because you thought speaking on what I've endured was your place, and it wasn't. We talked about an investigation, and you trying to dismiss the comment. Have a blessed one. Okay, she she was where she was with it. Oh my God, you said that he didn't, sorry, Brother Michael had to go through all this, I'm speaking. So looks like they just had a, back and forth, whatever. Okay. So it didn't happen. It didn't happen to her. And that's good that it didn't happen to her. But it sounds like it happened to other people. So I'm going to go here, and where I'm usually a contrarian, I'm going to go with the majority here. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm not even a female, and I can guarantee you this is no bandwagon wave. These are straight facts. Okay. So we got another person. Another person is just saying they're straight facts. So they either know people or they seen things or whatever. And when you get this many people going one direction, where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know why Alina Hayes is in the spirit that she's in, other than the fact she said it didn't happen to her. She got to leave it at that. Got to leave it at that. But you can't say that it didn't happen because you didn't hear it. Got more calls. Yeah, coach might be in trouble. Says he's at Harper Woods with it right now. Okay. Have there been some complaints over at Harper Woods? Don't know. Then I'll see some of them on this post. No doubt. No doubting. I just don't believe it yet, ladies. Okay. Where's the proof? Here goes someone else with the proof. His students. I went to Cass Tech from 2005 to 2009. From day one, the students, mostly girls, were saying that two-piece spill. I never had him, but some of the girls I know that had him said that he told them that. Okay, there's another person. It wasn't them, but they knew girls that he told them that. They knew girls. Do you remember Catherine in our grade? That's whose mom wrote him a letter about it, and he embarrassed her in class. So he talked to a parent back then. He talked to a parent. There's some parent engagement back then. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's absolutely tragic. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not going away from the victims here. No, I know this one. Michael Anderson replied. Sorry, my brother. Okay. Coach Eric Pate, that was at Pershing, too. He told me he'd have me walking down 7 Mile in my panties and bra. So that is Eric Pate, Coach Eric Pate from Pershing, told Susie B that she'd be walking down 7 Mile in her panties and bra. Yeah, he terrible. He's at Harper Woods now. Wow. So Eric Pate's over there too? Eric Pate and Wiltshire over there too? Or are they meaning that just Wiltshire's over there? Because we've heard Wiltshire's over there. Is Eric Pate over at Harper Woods too with Wiltshire? Damn, we got to do a faculty check. I mean, shit. Is that the place to go once you can't go nowhere else? Ain't Harper Woods its own school district? That's not a part of DPS. I believe that they're their own school district. So they're kind of out of the line of fire now. Why didn't they go back to DPS? Why did they go to Harper Woods? Could they not go back to DPS? I'd like to know that. Here we go. Oh, shit, it's about to go down. Orange speak, y'all peace, we all ears. He had been said, this is old news. He for sure was in the lady's face, and some girls were in his face. He had colored eyes. Okay, we've seen that one before. He the AD at Harper Woods now. What? He's the AD? Oh. No, they didn't move him. He went to Michigan State and got a job, and then he probably got whacked because Tucker got whacked. Check those teachers and security guards from Northwestern between 2005 and 2015. Any news or names? Coach Hall, Officer Jones, and Farad. So we've got names here. We've got names that people are willing to put out here. They wouldn't be putting these names out here if the stuff wasn't true. I mean, they just wouldn't be. You wouldn't take the chance to slander someone's name if the stuff wasn't true. Defamation of character is a motherfucker. If you accuse somebody of something and it's an all-out lie to defame them, you can be sued. These are no longer pupils and teachers. These are grown people now. They could be sued for defamation of character. So I would look for these individuals that are being accused of this to come forward and say, you know what? I categorically deny this shit ever happened. Are we going to get that out of Thomas Wilcher? Are we going to get that out of Coach Pate? Are we going to get that out of Coach Hall, Officer Jones, Farad? Are we going to get that from anybody? That's what we got to push for. We need to have them come out and totally deny the accusations. Because I think what that'll do is that'll light a fire under more victims to come out, to see them blatantly go before a camera and a microphone and say they did not do any of these things. I'm waiting for that. What's it going to take to get a news camera over to Harper Woods? There were rumors going around the school in the 90s. They've been known that. Okay. Everybody said they've been known it, but ain't nobody saying nothing. Shaking my head. All I see is predator this, predator that. This shit got to stop. What be wrong with motherfuckers? Okay. And forever stop blasting these mother no matter what. All the pedos rock with each other, too. That shit's crazy. Absolutely. The one thing that I have noticed in my history of seeing how pedos move out here, they tend to flock together. Pedos tend to flock together. So if you see one, you're generally going to see another two. What do you say there, Tank? So why this ain't reached Harper Woods School District yet? I mean, this is what I want to know, because he's not a football coach anymore. He's the AD. He's running the athletic department. You know, physical education, the gym teachers are coming in there seeing him. He was a gym teacher, and, I mean, what kind of gym teachers he got on the staff? He got other pedos on the staff? He got other pedos coaching the kids in football and basketball, baseball, whatever? He's now running the athletic department. But nobody's investigating this legally? He's not being looked at as a person of interest of sexual assault of children? How is this being swept under the rug? That's what I want to know. I want to know how it's being swept under the rug. I knew this was coming. His name was all in the shares. High school relations. Wilcher 2. Wilcher 2. Yep, you the type of witness to not say nothing. Sick trash. I'm glad ain't nobody got no flex on these posts. What in the entire fuck? A whole school full of pedos and nobody knew anything for all these years? Not only do these teachers and coaches need to be in jail, but whomever in upper administration needs to be held accountable as well. Smelling like a cover-up to me. And back then, I know VD wasn't here then, but he has been here for several years, to where some of these individuals were with DPS. Why didn't he do anything? Why didn't the principals of these schools do anything? Why didn't the Board of Education step in and bring Wilcher and whoever else to the front of the congregation? We need all of these piece of shits out of society. Absolutely. I believe pedos just deserve to be in one place. 23 and 1. 23 hours and 1 out. I don't believe pedos deserve to be walking around breathing the same oxygen that I breathe. I don't think they deserve that. And I just believe they just need to be incarcerated. You can't rehabilitate a pedo. It's a proven situation. You cannot rehabilitate a pedo. Pedo cannot pay their debt to society. They can't go to jail, and when they come out, they are rehabilitated. A pedo is going to be a pedo going in jail and coming out of jail. The only thing that prevents a pedo from messing with kids is jail. Or worse. And I'm not opposed to that. The fuck, he needs to be arrested if he's doing that. A bunch of shares. And I think that's it on this post. That's it on this one. But let me do something else. Let me do something else. I got another one to show you. I got another one. Is that the second one? Hold on one second. Hold on one second. That's that. Oh. Here we go. This one right here. DPSCD, Department of Public Safety. We have been made aware of a social media post alleging inappropriate conduct by DPSCD employee. Every allegation involving the safety of students and staff is taken seriously, investigated thoroughly, and if anyone has information regarding this matter, please contact 313-748-6000. That's 313-748-6000. If anybody that sees this video, please call 313-748-6000. If you know a victim who might be afraid to come forward or doesn't want to speak alone with anybody, then get somebody who can stand up with that said victim. Get them to this phone number, get them calling, and get their information transferred over to DPSCD. Don't let this slide, y'all, in any way, shape, or form. Don't let this slide. I'm trying to tell you, these victims need the help. They need the help. All right. Going through the post tink. Let's see what we got here. And there's another video. Here's another one. So let's look at this one. Hold on a second. Why can't I? Why am I not getting audio on this? I know there's...
Fucking shame.
Okay, that's not the video. Why is this video not giving any sound? I listened to it earlier. This is crazy. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go right to Michael's page. Get that off of there. I'm going to go right to where I believe this is the one. All right, I cut the video. I think we can still hear it. Hold on one quick second. Yeah. So I cut the screen share. I had to get out of the video, but I'm going to get back into it. Give me 1 second. I want to get back into screen share. Get it back there. All right. Smoke, what's good with you, baby? Happy holidays. Nobody's investigating because nobody takes children and women serious. This is very true, Tink. You know, this is very true. This is very, very true. Where we are, people are very lax on this, and then they wait for something catastrophic to happen. Then everybody wants to have the fake outrage. No, if you hear of anything that could be remotely close to what these people are alleging, you need to be on that shit. If you got kids, you got grandkids, if you got anybody you're close to, if there's any type of allegation, you need to be on it, because if it's true, then you're doing the right thing. If it's not true, then it's a situation was better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. And I don't believe personally, the reason I think the way things are is because people are not taking these allegations serious from jump. And then when they get to snowballing and so many things have happened, then it seems like, okay, now it's going to be like far-fetched. You get people that don't believe the victims. You get people that just do not believe the victims. So let me, we got the screen back up here. Play this one again, and then we want to move to the comments.
Certain posts I'll be kind of skeptical about posting because they be so sensitive the situation, and I don't want to put stuff on people's names and stuff like that. So this young lady came forward and said that her uncle has been grooming her and had sexual relations, even intercourse with her when she was 15 years old. He's currently employee at, I believe, Renaissance High School. He's worked at, I'm here in Mumford. He's worked at Crockett, different schools. And I've had different people come forward and say that he's been doing inappropriate things with the students and stuff like that. So this is the guy right here.
He's having sexual relations, raping his niece. I mean, you heard that part, right?
10 years old. He's currently employee at, I believe, Renaissance High School. This young lady came forward and said that her uncle has been grooming her and had sexual relations, even intercourse with her when she was 15 years old. He's currently
15 years old. 15 years old. A baby. A baby. Not only was it a baby, it was his niece. So it was whether his brother or his sister's child that he is engaging in sexual relations with, raping this child. Someone that she should be able to look up to, respect, and revere as a protector, her uncle. But he had other plans for her.
Employee at, I believe, Renaissance High School. He's worked at, I'm here in Mumford. He's worked at Crockett, different schools. And I've had different people come forward and say that he's been doing inappropriate things with the students and stuff like that. So this is the guy right here. Like I said, if I'm wrong about any information I've been putting out, I apologize. But I don't think there's many women that's gonna lie on this guy. Like I said, they said he currently working at Renaissance High School. This is the guy right here. If you got any other information, please come forward. It's sad, man. It's sad that this.
What'd you say there, Tink? My uncle is only in prison because he raped 6 of his nieces and nephews, and because we all spoke up to my dad, didn't stop. He tried to kill cops. What? Wow. Oh, your dad tried to kill. Okay. Your dad tried to delete your uncle. which I totally understand. Salute to your dad. Yeah. Salute to your dad for getting at your uncle. I wish he could have got him. I'll be honest with you. I know it's your uncle and all, but I wish he could have got him. Wish he could have took care of that. I ain't gonna lie. I wish he could have. I wish he could have got him. Yeah. I wish, because I don't think a T-shirt would have been made for your uncle. They make a T-shirt for people, for funerals and stuff, T-shirts and hoodies and all kinds of. I don't think they'd have made a T-shirt for your uncle after tormenting you and your cousins. Yeah. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Your uncle has an identical twin, and I don't even speak to him just because it's his brother. Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. But I want to go into the comments here. Yup, this was my math teacher at Cass Tech. He was always over familiar and a bully, constantly making inappropriate comments to the female students especially, but everybody really. At Cass, he used to make young freshman girls grade student papers for him in exchange for some credits. He never taught math properly and spent most of his time chatting up young female students. Nobody's watching these motherfuckers. I mean, in the school, they're teachers, obviously, but then there's administrators and there's other people around. I mean, nobody saw this trash going on in these schools on a daily basis. This didn't just happen Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This was some shit that was happening every single day. Didn't happen Tuesday and Thursday. This was some shit that was happening every day. And nobody said anything about it? Nobody? DPSCD, Department of Public Safety, if there's anyone that has information on alleged victims, you can inbox information to the DPSCD Facebook page. Renaissance, I went to Cass, and I'm pretty sure I had him as a math teacher. There you go. Yes, he worked at Cass as well. He just started at Renaissance, from my understanding. He also worked at Murray Wright High School. Yes, that's him. This is crazy. He looks like somebody I went to elementary school with. Last name was Hunter. I have seen him as a grown-up as well. I came here looking for his name. Joseph Hunter? I thought she said Cass. She did. He works at Renaissance now. This is sad. I pray they get the justice they deserve. Oh my God, yes, this is too many stories. They're all the same. They are not lying. Way too many. Here's another post. And for the record, people saying that she's lying, this is the very reason people don't speak up about sexual assault. It's too many red flags with him, and if you ever have genuinely been around him, yes, he's charismatic. That's the playoff. Everything starts off with a joke and a laugh. He even acts a little sassy, but I feel like that's his playoff too, to get close to females anyway, which is why I'm like, he cool, But no, that shit ends. Then he started the inappropriate comments. Wow, did you experience this too? I just left Rennie back in January. I was working there as a school nurse. Definitely. Wow. So there's some faculty there. There's some faculty there. Shit, he looks like he playing in little girl's panties. Okay. I don't need all the graphic shit. Is he a security guard? View hidden replies. Or he not the dean? My brother's the dean. He's the assistant principal. You know what? You right. He is the assistant principal. Assistant principal, athletic director. A lot of them are still coaches. These people are in positions where they can do this and really not be checked, and probably would only be checked by other people that are doing it too. I mean, you got somebody who did this shit for years at Cass, and now he's an athletic director. Yeah. Who is he to talk when somebody else gets in there and starts doing the shit? If I'm wrong about any information I'm putting out, I apologize. Well, here's the thing about that. You shouldn't be putting out information based on hearsay. Also, you can't know that you could be ruining someone's name and their life. Hey, they have the opportunity to come out and ask for a cease and desist. They have the opportunity to come out and speak on these allegations. They have absolutely the right. But there's not just one person that's saying these things. There's a multitude of people. Potential false allegations that will never go away. People were talking about this when Wilcher was at Cass Tech. He got elevated to Michigan State, then got ousted from Michigan State, and now he's elevated over at Harper Woods. If he was worried about his name being destroyed because he couldn't acquire a job, then I think that he would be on this. Sounds like he's running the fact that he hasn't spoke up on these allegations. You actually don't apologize. You made it up in your mind that even the innocent black man's life is less valuable than a lying girl or woman. And since you are a male, I can only imagine what you battle with in regards to the way you feel about yourself. If you felt so compelled to get to the bottom of this, you should have gone to the police about him and let the proof be revealed. Then, once there is proof, you can expose it to the world. But there's been allegations for years, and the police have done nothing. What's one person going to the police, a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 10th party? I mean, Michael would go to the police, and they'd be like, okay, well, who are you? And how do you know these things? Then it's hearsay. There's been people that have been in contact with the police. There's been people that have been in contact with parents, been in contact with administrators, and nothing's been done over the years. I can't believe that there's this many people out here that literally blame victims. This is part of the problem. Whether he's guilty or not, we have to stop normalizing blasting men's names and faces all over allegations without evidence. Hey, I have been the victim of that. Someone said that I was a 4-time felony child abuse convict, and I'm fighting that now. I mean, I'm not fighting it because I'm not, and it's been proven that I'm not. He's even admitted to people that he knows that I'm not, but he won't admit it to me. He said it publicly. He said it on social media, but he won't come back on social media and say that it's wrong. So the way I take my victimhood is I'm fighting back, and I'm going to sue for defamation of character, and they could do the same. All of these individuals could sue for defamation of character. All the people that are accusing them, they could put them into a suit and sue them all. First, ask for cease and desist. First, ask for all of these correspondences to be taken down because they're ruining their names. Nobody's asking that. Nobody's asking that. My comment isn't in defense of him. It's in defense of men's right to due process. They haven't been arrested. They don't get due process. You sound kind of law enforcement-y. Are you a cop? Are you an undercover cop? While too many men have been guilty, too many men have been lied on and falsely accused and shouldn't have to suffer because some have been guilty. Go work behind the scenes. Work with those women on coming out with proof. Get them to take their stories to the police to build a paper trail on him. I think there is a paper trail already. I believe there is a paper trail already. And do it the right way because everybody matters. Oh, here we go. And no, I'm not him and I don't know him. I just don't agree with the way this is being handled because I know how bad this can be, even for the author of the post in the more grand scheme of things. So there's some empathy there. One man's life is deemed not valuable. All men's lives will be. Not true. But anyway, I've learned from the past mistakes. Trust me. I interview people and I see receipts before posting them. FYI, I'm not reading all that. I did. I read it all. You don't have to read it. I still stand by it. I hope what you're saying is true and you truly have to have seen the receipts. They're all over my page. Proof, my friend, not hearsay, evidence. Yeah, they must be going to police academy. There is no proof on your page, but I'll leave this alone. Okay, bye. You do know witnesses are evidence, right? I'm not here to debate. Yes, you are. You are here to debate. No profile picture. When they don't have no profile picture, man, you really shouldn't even give them much weight. I used to argue with people with no profile picture, but I don't argue with nobody. You can't show your face. Don't stay here because I'm not going to talk to you. Michael did good by talking to her and staying calm with her. You do not receive it, so there's nothing else. Okay, stay focused. You're supposed to be helping those women, not trying to debate me down. But you keep coming back. Joni Rose, no profile picture. You spread this all over internet user. Okay, whatever. You on a fake page. Coward, don't try. Oh, so Joni Rose is on a fake page. Joni Rose ain't even on. That's not a real page. Joni Rose. I saw you didn't have a picture, but you on a fake page. Why would you be on a burner Facebook page? That's so AOL. What are you doing? Oh, what's up, Mila? Joni might be the teacher hiding behind a fake page. They super invested in their response. Yeah. What up, hitter? Just saying allegedly while explaining because it could or could not be, but you have a right to speak on whatever you want. Just cover yourself. Jamila, I thought that too. Yeah. That's a good, that you know what? That's a good observation, hitter. They must be related or something. That's him, I'm sure. Oh, wow. Michael Anderson, I bet. For real. Explain this then, allegedly. I went to Cass Tech 2013 to 2017. I was a student aide all throughout school. He's a groomer. He will make you think he's doing it out of protection or love, but he's a predator. My senior year, I stopped being in his class aide because over time he became a little more aggressive and outspoken of his intentions. He tried to bribe me with money, flying me out of town, and etc. Wow, that's ballsy. Where are you taking one student? Where are you taking one student? How would you take one student out of town? Why would you attempt to fly once? How does a student get away from her parents? Kid's not in college. Kid's not out of college. Kid's in high school. What would be the plan for you to say, hey, I want to take your daughter out of town this weekend? Oh, is it a school trip? Oh, is it this? Oh, is it? Oh, no, we just want to go kick it. Get the fuck out of here. You kidding me? Flying me out of town. I did speak out at the end of my senior year, but nothing was done. I hope this helps a bit. I am sorry you had to experience that. This is social media, not a courtroom. Oh, boy. His life won't be ruined if he has not done what he is being accused of. Joni Rose, that looked like the perp hiding behind a fake page. Honey, it's too many people who doesn't have any connection with each other giving their experiences with him. I don't think these young ladies are pulling this horrible BS out of their ass, out of thin air about this man. He needs to be let go, investigated immediately. Get him out of that school and away from those other young girls. This is my thing. That's the way I look at it. Put him on administrative leave. Don't fire him so he can't sue. Put him on administrative leave. And put him on administrative leave with pay. You know, if they want to do the whole, innocent until proven guilty, put him on administrative leave with pay. But if you find out that he's absolutely guilty, which I believe he is absolutely guilty, take whatever money he's got, pension, everything. Get your money back. What pedos need a pension for? Pedos need a pension. They ain't going to do nothing but give them some resources to go out and do some more pedoing. No, take all his resources. Take his retirement. Take everything. That should go to the victims. There's more than one victim. Spread it out. Don't nobody get nothing. This is crazy. Tag the high school. Only way to get answers is to tag their employers. If it's wrong information, then it will be sorted out. But tag the motherfucking high school. I agree. I'm going to tag the high school. I'm going to tag Renaissance. I'm going to tag, hell, I just saw Murray Wright in there. Cass Tech. I want to tag them all. When this all gets done, I'm actually going to put them all in my comments. Because somebody does the social media accounts for these schools, and we want to get Harper Woods in there. We've got to shed light on this darkness for all the victims, and that justice will be served. We hope so. What else we got? Say allegedly if you don't know for certain. Okay, well, I've already done that. They said he is the assistant principal. Hidden replies, no male assistant at Renaissance. I believe his name is Joseph Hunter. Love how these prayers have been working. Thank you for this. Please report this to the police. Those it said Cass. He was at Cass. Now he's at Rennie. I seen someone else post this, and the man deleted his page, and he had his current employment at Rennie. I thought they said he was a math teacher. I could be wrong. He could have been a math teacher and got elevated to an assistant principal. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. Not at all. This was my daughter's math teacher at Cass. He was my math teacher at Murray Wright. What's his name? I mean, this is nuts, y'all. This is nuts. Here's another
Detroit
one.
Public Schools just put out a statement about my video. This is what they said. Shout out to Detroit Public Schools for this, man, because I hope y'all do y'all due diligence, because these kids definitely deserve justice, man. There's been over 50 kids that I came forward with different allegations about this guy that I did a post about earlier. So come on now, these kids not lying. I'm sorry for the people that it hurt as far as family-wise and stuff like that, but these kids deserve justice. I'm sorry. Whether it's been 10 years ago, whether it's been 15 years ago, I guarantee that this guy's still been doing the same shit. It's just sad, man.
I mean, if we're talking about statute of limitations, I don't know what they are in the state of Michigan for sexual assault, child sexual assault. But that's why all the victims need to band together. They need to lock arms and band together. I hate that man to death. It's never an option. But I feel for all these girls. Absolutely. Wow. So DPD's dirty? You can't even trust the police department? Fuck. This is nuts. Just imagine if the niece wouldn't have sent the message. No one would have known. He would be back at work on the 5th. And I did nothing. That's why I have a lawyer right now. Nice. Nice, Ashala. Good for you. Sorry this happened to you. I pray. Okay, good, good, good. Never be sorry for standing up and being the voice. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Think that one's it. I think that one's it.
Nah, bitch ass nigga, you done fucked up. Show your face, bitch ass nigga. Lift your motherfucking head up. What's up with you niggas touching kids, man? Like, this shit sad, bro. There's more and more of you niggas, and we gonna keep exposing you motherfuckers' faces. Y'all not about to go on that bitch and do y'all little time and come home and act like we forgot about this shit. Send this shit over the internet so we can remember this sick motherfucker face. Nah, bitch ass nigga.
I mean, he's in Oakland County Jail. I don't think he had anything to do with anybody at Detroit Public Schools. Looks like 3rd degree criminal sexual assault, accosting children for immoral purposes, child sexually abusive activity, aggravated. Okay. The way you're talking to them like they can hear you. They can. They looking. They looking and lurking. Trust me. Anybody that's out here doing shit like this, if they not on burner accounts, somebody's going to show them what this is. They looking, they lurking. And fuck them. Hunter, Wilcher, Pate, Farad, whoever, Jones, everybody that's on this video. Y'all gonna see this video. You're gonna see variations of this video. This motherfucker gonna get chopped up into bits and pieces, and it's gonna be spread amongst Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. We got to expose them, or they will dispose y'all. Put them out. We all need to know so we can protect the young. Absolutely. Appreciate that, Kiera Stevens. So I think that might be it. This was informative too. This helped me.
Hey man, since we on the topic, let's talk about defamation of character. A lot of y'all always throwing that out once y'all getting accused of some shit, or y'all people's getting accused of some shit. Oh, we gonna sue y'all for defamation of character, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. This is what y'all don't understand. In order to sue somebody for defamation of character, you have to understand that it had to be a proven fact that you're innocent, and somebody's trying to slander your name without probable proof. When I post people, I have proof. I have witnesses and people that's saying these things and accusing these people. I'm not, most of the time, I'm not even saying, if y'all hear me say that I know somebody did something, 9 times out of 10, I have substantial evidence that they did some shit. If I say allegedly, that means allegedly. I don't have that much proof. But as far as the Cash Tech, let's say as far as the former Cash Tech coach that they say works at Harper Woods now, it's over 30, 40 people that have came forward with different stories about him.
So that's what I'm saying. You just don't have this many people going this direction, and then the individual that's being accused by this many people not saying anything. It just doesn't happen. You don't have that many people going one way and then another person standing over here on an island not screaming his head off, I didn't do this shit. Lawyering up, because that's the first thing that they need to do. They need to lawyer up. If you didn't do this, lawyer up. Have the lawyer do your talking. You talk to the lawyer, have the lawyer do your talking. But I ain't heard about none of these guys lawyering up. Wiltshire were able to be at Cass Tech and win football games until he got elevated to Michigan State. Never heard about any investigation while he was at Michigan State. Now he's at Harper Woods, and people are still talking about it, but there hasn't been any type of investigation. Because if there had been an investigation, we would have heard about the investigation, a person of interest, this, that, and the other. Charges dropped if he did not get convicted. Haven't heard about any of that. But there's 30, 40 people that Michael Anderson has dealt with alone. This guy is, yeah. I mean, Wiltshire, Hunter was the one that was messing with his niece. And then you have these other guys. They're still in play. They still could have their careers snatched from up under them. So why wouldn't they be coming out saying, I didn't do this? Why the silence? There shouldn't be silence. Actually, he went to Michigan State, Black Coffee. He went to Michigan State and worked under the Mel Tucker regime, and then we know what happened to Mel Tucker. They probably swept him out with all of Mel Tucker's staff, and that's how he ended up at Harper Woods. What I want to know is, why didn't he come back to DPD? Why didn't he come back to DPS? I need him to go to DPD, goddammit. Absolutely. I need him to go to 1300 Bobian. I need him to go to 1300 Bobian. Fuck DPS. I need him to go to DPD. But no, he ended up at Harper Woods. And from what they're saying, I haven't verified this myself, but I heard he is the athletic director at Harper Woods. So he absolutely ran by DPS on his way back from Lansing. And instead of stopping by and seeing what DPS might have had laying for him, he went on to Harper Woods. Maybe the allegations were deeper than what we knew, and they were localized, so I didn't hear about them, and the victims weren't coming out as much as they are right now. This is a problem. This is an absolute problem. But listen to this one more time about the defamation of character. Because this is why I'm suing for my name, y'all. This is why I'm suing for my name.
Hey man, since we on the topic, let's talk about defamation of character. A lot of y'all always throwing that out once y'all getting accused of some shit, or y'all people's getting accused of some shit. Oh, we gonna sue y'all for defamation of character, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. This is what y'all don't understand. In order to sue somebody for defamation of character, you have to understand that it had to be a proven fact that you're innocent, and somebody's trying to slander your name without probable proof.
So just taking me being accused of being a 4-time felony child abuse convict, I am absolutely not. Collectively, I never had 4 felonies in my whole life, let alone be convicted of child abuse 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I was accused of that. And I can prove that that never happened. 4 felony child abuse convictions. And the thing when you have 4 felony child abuse convictions, the thing about those can't be expunged. They're going to stay with you like herpes for the rest of your life. They can't be expunged. So when Brian Foley accused me of being a 4-time felony child abuse convict and then tried to pull it back like he pump faked it, no, motherfucker, you posted that shit. And I screenshotted all the posts. That gave me the right to sue him for defamation of character, and we are going to do that early 2026. You don't put dirt on my name, motherfucker. And these motherfuckers here, if they're innocent, then they would stop it with a lawsuit. Stop all these posts with cease and desist first. First, they'd lawyer up. Let the lawyers do their talking. And then they would get all these people that are accusing them, line them up, and say, hey, we want to put a cease and desist in. Stop slandering our names. Stop defaming our names. But ain't none of that happening. Why? Just what Michael said right here.
The character, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. This is what y'all don't understand. In order to sue somebody for defamation of character, you have to understand that it had to be a proven fact that you're innocent.
A proven fact that you're innocent. Can Thomas Wilcher prove that he's innocent? Can Hunter prove that he's innocent? Can Pate prove that he's innocent? Can Farad prove that he's innocent? Can Jones prove that he's innocent? Can any other of these animals prove that they're innocent? Because wouldn't they want to run at Michael Anderson, who has viral videos about all of them? I don't have viral videos about all of them. I don't have viral videos about any of them. There's only going to be about 100 people that watch this video. But I can tell you what, I'm going to push the message out there to the 100 that's going to listen. And the ones who do listen, the ones who do learn, maybe they'll know some people who are affected by these individuals. And unless they're 100% and can prove that they're innocent, they can't sue for defamation of character. And I ain't seen nobody say nothing to no one about any of this publicly. Has anything been done privately? I do not know. But I don't think so. Not the way this is flying over social media.
And somebody's trying to slander your name without probable proof. When I post people, I have proof. I have witnesses and people that saying these things and accusing these people. I'm not, most of the time I'm not even saying it. If y'all hear me say that I know somebody did something, 9 times out of 10 I have substantial evidence that they did some shit. If I say allegedly, that means allegedly. I don't have that much proof. But as far as the Cash Tech, let's say as far as the former Cash Tech coach that they say works at Harper Woods now, it's over 30, 40 people that have came forward with different stories about him. Hey man, since we on the topic.
So unless you can definitively prove your innocence, you can't sue for defamation of character. So none of these coaches out here have come forward to be able to prove definitively that they are innocent. And that's why none of them are suing for defamation of character. That's why none of them are fighting these allegations, because they can't prove what's being said about them. That's a problem, because most of them are still in the Detroit Public School District, and some of them are outside of the Detroit Public School District. There's in anybody's school district. They shouldn't be in anybody's school district. Because if the allegations are true, they need to be in jail. But why aren't they fighting these allegations? Why? They can run, but they can't hide. That's right, Black Coffee. They can run, but they can't hide. And they can move around. They can move around these different jobs. People can keep giving them jobs. With these allegations floating around, how are you even giving them jobs and you know the things that are being said about them? How blind could you be? If you know that these things are being said about them, how blind could you be? Appreciate everybody that's liked the video. Appreciate everybody that's loved the video. The thumbs up. I appreciate all the comments in the chat. Appreciate all of y'all. Please share these videos, that they're going to be continually to come. I'm going to break this video down. I'm absolutely going to break this video down so it can be ingested easier across platforms, because the message needs to be heard. If you don't get to hear it in its entirety, at least you can hear it broken up, because it's the same message. And if these young ladies were lying, they'd have been stopped by now. There's been parents that have talked to people. There's been parents that have talked to teachers. There have been parents that have confronted the individuals, and nothing has been done. So the people that keep coming up saying, how come nobody said nothing to this? How come nobody said it? There has been shit said. It's nothing being done. So stop blaming the victims. That's what y'all need to do. You need to stop blaming the victims here. I used the color purple tonight for this slide because that is the color for child sexual assault. I take this so serious because I'm in a stage of being a grandparent, and I have young grandchildren that are going to come up through the K through 12 system. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned that things like this could happen to children and nobody do anything to stop it. I'm concerned about that. I have a hard time with that. This is not where I want to live with these things. And I'm glad that I found someone like Michael Anderson, who is literally on this shit way deeper than I am. So I can only hope to catch some of his momentum and be able to work alongside of him figuratively in trying to rid our communities, our schools, anywhere where our children are concerned of these types of individuals. They got to go. Okay? These individuals have to go. And if they don't go, our children aren't going to want to go to school. Our children aren't going to want to play sports. Our children aren't going to want to participate in activities in school. because of these types of individuals that will continue to prey on them. This has to stop. And the only way we stop it is continuing to talk about it all the way up into an investigation. Because what's happened here is they've been investigated, just not by police. I can't believe they've gone through all these years without having questions asked of them. But what happened to those interviews? What happened to those Q&As? And then when you get these guys moving around to different schools and things like that, sounds like they're running from their problems. Like Black Coffee said, you can run, but you can't hide. You absolutely can run, but you can't hide. Maybe Wiltshire thought he was up out the pain because he got that job at Michigan State, and then that job at Michigan State didn't pan out because Mel Tucker didn't pan out, and his ass was ousted. But then he goes back to Harper Woods? Don't run back through DPS? DPS is home. You were lauded at DPS. You won state championships as a football coach at DPS. They was paying you some good money over there at Cass, too. But you came back and became, I'm hearing that he is the AD at Harper Woods. I have not proven that, but I heard he's the AD at Harper Woods. I'll find that out. But we've got to take care of our kids in school. They're pupils, and they're dealing with pedos. I don't just sling that word around, but when I do sling that word around, I'm talking about individuals like this, because these individuals are not preying on adults. They're preying on children. And you prey on children, you are a pedo. There's no other way to look at it. You are a pedo. Period. Oh, shit. Good for you. Damn, this triggered me. I was molested in my senior year of high school. I stabbed my attacker and felt vindicated, but the trauma was overbearing. Absolutely. And I'm sorry that it happened to you, Black Coffee, but I'm glad you got your stab back. Most victims don't get their lick back. I'm glad you got your stab back. Did he bleed out? Can I ask that? I don't want to trigger you, but did he bleed out? Please tell me you left him there. Please tell me they had to zip him up. Did they have to zip him up, or did he survive? Did they put a toe ring on his foot? Oh, nice. So he did bleed. I love it. I love it. Oh, he lived. Oh, okay. Damn. My fault. I got excited there. I got excited there. I thought you got full revenge. You got partial revenge. I thought you got full revenge. But that's okay. Hopefully he looks at that scar to this day and understand not to put his hands on no goddamn body else. This is one of these things that I have to talk about. I don't like talking about it, but I have to talk about it because it's where I am in life. And we stay exposing the miscreants, the underbelly. We stay exposing it. $11? Jesus. Sorry, Tink. People say I should forgive him. No. Forgive for what? What will you forgive? You forgiving somebody that attacked you? You don't forgive somebody that rapes you. You crazy? See, people that say shit like that. This. Come on, man. God damn it. People that say shit like that. It's been time. Time has passed. You can forgive. Fuck you. How about that? How about that? Fuck you. I'm not forgiving shit. No victim should ever forgive their attacker. Somebody violates your innocence and you got somebody else standing behind you, you should forgive them. It's been enough time now. Absolutely. Somebody steals a $20 bill from you, you can forgive them. Smack shit out of them, take your $20 bill back, and forgive them. But somebody takes your innocence, how can you forgive that? How can they repay you? What is the remittance? What is the restitution for taking your innocence? You can get your innocence back? They can repay your innocence? I don't think so. You can't forgive somebody who needs to be looking up at the inside of a crypt or an urn. You absolutely can't forgive that soul. Actually, it's a soulless person. That demon. How do you forgive someone who takes your innocence? Sometimes these people are getting their innocence snatched repeatedly. Actually, can you take someone's innocence more than once? Because once you take someone's innocence, now you're just violating them. I think you can only take someone's innocence once, but then you're just violating them if you continue to do it. And some of these people that we've talked about tonight sound like habitual offenders. They sound like violators. They don't sound like individuals that were snatching innocence. They sound like violators. I had so much to talk about tonight. And maybe we'll get into the other slides tomorrow. We're approaching 2 hours here. And I appreciate anybody that stayed with me for most of the time. A lot of y'all have actually been. I know Tink's been here most of the time. No, she's been here most of the time. Val, you've been here a good portion of the time. John Henry's been here. Appreciate y'all. Stay Bay came. Says she just walked in the door. I'm glad she's here. Glad she's home safe. Lock your doors. If you know, you know. I want to thank Brother Michael because without his videos, without his post that I was able to read tonight, I would have just been kind of talking on this. But I asked him, could I use his content? He gave me the permission to use his content without any question. He said, absolutely, do what you got to do. Tag me in it so I can move it around my network. He told me how to put some things together with the videos and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break some of these videos down the way he told me to do because I like to be a good student so he can put it in the atmosphere on his side. The only way we make this happen, and that's getting rid of the predators, the violators, is we protect the victims. And the only way we can protect the victims is we uphold the victims and get them talking en masse, get them to lock arms against these criminals. There's criminals here. We've got criminals here. Absolutely. That's all they are. They're sick. And I ain't gonna say MF. I'm gonna say motherfucker. There's some sick motherfuckers, Black Coffee. Indeed they are. So you've had to disassociate yourself from the situation as an 11-year-old. What you've gone through, you've had to more or less lose your memory of it all. From 4 to 11? Am I reading that right? 4 years old to 11? Michael Anderson, we fully appreciate the work that you do. And when you're ready to do another deadbeat baby daddy post, I got 3 names for the roster. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be in that chat room. I'll absolutely be in that chat room. What up, Free? So that was confirmation. 4 to 11. I'm sorry, Tink. It's very difficult for me to compute. 4 years old. I mean, you are a baby. And 11 years old, you're a preteen. It took for him to hurt my baby sister to say something. Wow, you stayed silent while he did what he did to you. But once he did something to your sister, that's when you spoke up. That's a big sister. You say, Black Coffee, we need to have an open communication with our children. Absolutely. So they can come forward without being ashamed or scared. You know, I didn't tell my mother about the attempts because I didn't know how. And this is where a lot of our communicative infrastructures with families have broken down for whatever reason. I don't know why you didn't feel that you couldn't talk to your mother, but it's a shame that you couldn't go to the person who gave you life, that you were dying inside. I mean, that's unfortunate. But when you're closed off like that, that's your number one. That's your day one. And you can't go to them to profess something that has happened to you so detrimental. That's tough. That's absolutely tough. And your mother knew, Tink? What? My kids at 3 knew their body parts. I never left room for confusion for them. Absolutely. They have to know their private parts. They have to know that those parts are parts of their body that nobody else touches. That it should be absolutely weird for anybody who doesn't give them baths, who doesn't help them get dressed as little children, They shouldn't be touching those body parts. And anybody that does, they need to be able to come to their parents. He did it to her, and her mama knew. Wow. My mom's mom made her choose between telling and having a home. What the fuck? Yeah, see, when you give it nicknames, you make it a playful thing. And although there could be nicknames just in conversation, when you've got to wash yourself, when there has to be an area to be touched, you have to use the scientific name so they know that's the part that nobody touches. Dream sex was a taboo topic, absolutely. Besides, molestation had been going on for years. It didn't stop with slavery. It was just getting started. It was commonplace in many homes from the beginning of many of our family histories. It was commonplace. And that's unfortunate that the most detrimental situation that we had to go through as humans, this was also a part of the life, being sexually abused. Enslaved individuals were absolutely brutalized from day one to the last day. And it became commonplace to wrongfully touch a child back in those days. Yeah, it fucked my mom up for life. Took her years to get sober. Still has relapses, and now she's schizo. Yeah. The institution of slavery was so detrimental because we weren't humans to those animals. We weren't humans to those animals. So we were treated less than human by those animals. And we were just meat. I mean, we were chattel. We were their property. And where they would have taken up with a farm animal, they did even worse to us. What? What a piece of shit. Sorry. But that's a piece of shit. I'm sorry your daughter's daddy's a piece of shit said that, Sorry. Not good. Not good for me to read that. You've never told me that verbally, but, since we family, it could have come out at any time. Yeah, not good. Not good. Just at the 2-hour mark, and I appreciate y'all. We're still actually got it going strong. I don't feel like I have to cut the thing off, but I don't want to hold everybody here all night. I do want to play something again that I played at the beginning of this video, and I want to go out talking about this because it'll be my lead-in. I'm just going to have to do a part 2 to this stream, and as we're ending up these episodes going into 2026, you know, we'll end at 200. We're somewhere right thereabouts, it looks like. But I want to talk more about people being on the street in the village in Washtenaw County. And we can talk a little bit more globally about it, but I want to stay local with it because this video indeed brought me somewhere. Okay? It brought me somewhere, and frankly, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do tomorrow. Actually, I do know what I'm going to do tomorrow. We're going to get together, I believe, over at the warming center. Got some food to take over there tomorrow. And if I encounter some individuals who I know are dealing with encampment life, I want to be able to speak to them on some strategic levels of what it would take to help them. What do they need to get themselves out of that situation? Because it's a long road back. If you're in an encampment, it's a long road back. I get it, but you shouldn't be on that road alone. So I want to help out. But I want to talk about this in closing. I appreciate everybody that's disclosed what they've disclosed about themselves personally on this stream tonight. I appreciate everyone that was brave enough to get on Brother Michael's post and leave comments that I was able to read tonight. I appreciate you, Black Coffee. I appreciate you. Her name is Valerie, y'all. If y'all don't know, her name is Valerie. Y'all can see it's Valerie, but I call her Black Coffee because she's Black Coffee. Homelessness it's close to me. My father ran the Shelter Association. I think that was technically that was his last job. And I've always felt like people that don't have a home, they're at such a disadvantage for so many things, for so many reasons. And we're not talking specifically about how they become homeless. It's the fact that they are. Because I know plenty of people that there is absolutely no reason why they would be on the street or should be on the street or could be on the street, but they're on the street. So we're not trying to find out the whys and the hows. It's the fact that they're there. We need to do what we need to do to get them off the street. And that's just facts. But I want to play this.
Damn it, what am I trying to say? What y'all seeing behind us is really like the evidence of the failed policies that you hear us constantly scream into the void about. These homeless campsites are a lot closer to you than you would imagine. And even if not, the water is. So we're trying to bring light to the dangers, the reality that exists out here. This shit is real. It's a Michigan winter. There's ice, it's dangerous, it's slippery, it's dark, it's violent. The elements are constantly after you. There's animals, there's toxic crap and waste and all kind of shit. So we're just trying to bring some light to that and really bring change to prevent this kind of shit, bro. It's Michigan in the wintertime. People out here in tents, relying on pretty primitive ways of having to stay warm, constantly risking their health, their mental health, and their physical health just to survive from day to day. And when you talk to the folks in these campsites over and over and over again, there are some that want handouts and that just want to get high. the overwhelming narrative that we hear is that folks want work, they want dignified work.
So once again, I want to thank my brother Shihab. The young lion is out there doing this work independently. Seeing those encampments it's humbling to know people that are literally living there, and this is the best that it gets for them. This is as good as it gets. It's not summer, it's winter. And we're not even in the dead of winter. What is today, the 30th? Well, now it's the 31st technically. We're just 10 days into winter. We're only 10 days into winter. It ain't even got as cold as it's going to get. And these people are literally outside. They're outside. Tink, I appreciate you. And sometimes reading comments like this really tells me a lot about people. I help when I can with homelessness, but I don't have the money. Hell, I'm barely scraping by, but I feel this due to us being homeless at the beginning of the year with 6 kids while pregnant and homeless, and homeless all of her childhood. And she feels compelled to help now. She ain't running away from where she was in her childhood and even just early this year. The world needs more of these spirits, the survivors of it, to give back. And sometimes it doesn't even take money. Sometimes maybe just a little bit of time. You've gone through the rigors and got to the other side to where you might be able to just inspire someone else to say, don't give up. I was here. Now I'm here. You can get there. That's sometimes all some people need. Now, I don't think they'll mess with them. I don't think they'll mess with them right now because they know where they are. They know what's there. He didn't really expose something that's not known. Where they have blown up some of these camps, I believe personally that it has happened in places where the property owners have become the whistleblowers, the pieces of shit that they are. Because these encampments are, in most cases, are not affecting any flow of business that these property owners have. But for some reason, they feel compelled. They feel compelled. See, and then I've heard this as well, Tink. They make a move every few months. So what is that? Considering it progress so they don't let them set up camp for too long? Where are they supposed to go? They're just going to move from one place to the next place to the next place to the next place? And it takes so much for them to get to a space where they are comfortable, where they feel safe. And as I said, there's a lot of violence, there's drug usage, there's all kinds of things that are going on in these encampments. It's not like they're safe because they're all homeless. They're at each other's throats, many of them. There's many reasons why people don't need to be put in this mode. We are humans. We are not animals. We should not be out living in the wild. Because that's what that is. That's in the wild. And if you live in the wild, you'll become wild. That's what that is. You become wild. And I have a problem with that. Now, I use this one tonight in this color because this is the color for homelessness. Purple was for child sexual abuse, and the blue is for homelessness. Where I am with all of this is where I'm always going to be. I look at homeless people as victims. They are victims of our environment. Our environment. It is our environment. It's not their environment. It's our environment. Homeless people are a part of our environment. They're a part of our community. I don't look at them as outcasts. They may have been cast out, but I don't look at them as outcasts. They are members of our community. And sometimes being on the street is absolutely self-inflicted. But how did we get to that self-infliction? Because nobody should be on the street. We don't need people on the street. We don't need anyone living on the street. Sorry about this. My daughter texting. So, and this is what we have to stand on because we are in one of the richest counties in the state, but they cannot find substantive shelter for our homeless community. We cannot forget the fact that we are indeed in one of the richest counties in the state. But we can't find substantive housing for our homeless community. I don't know what the real big fight is in Ypsilanti for a homeless shelter. And I know that they've had a number of schools, empty buildings that could have been converted into homeless shelters, but for some reason they're not. And there's not enough room at the Delana Center in Ann Arbor. I don't know what the issue is, but 2026, I'll get a definitive answer from somewhere. Finally. The Villager is on deck. And I'll be on deck in a lot of different platforms. We're not just going to hold it to the politics. We're not just going to hold it to current, past, this, that, and the other. I'm on deck for it all. We've got to take care of each other. And I understand where some people are. They need a little bit extra. I get it. I get it. So we try harder. This is a tough period right now. And I'm not going to get all into the political shit, whether it be local or national. It's a tough time right now. Hell, it's a tough time for people who do have homes. It starts with taking care of ourselves and taking care of one another. Everything else will take care of itself. Taking care of ourselves, taking care of one another, and everything else will take care of itself. That's crazy. How do they not find shelter for you and your children? I thought that's who gets first dibs on things. Women with children. How is that even possible? But then to even break up the family when you have a woman, a husband, and children, they should all be able to stay together. But I've heard there's situations where they'll take the women and the children, but then the man's out. Or there's places that the men can go, but they can't bring their women, and children. The system's just all kind of fucked up to me, the way I see it. And the fact that they say 3 to 8 months just to get into one, or even on the list. What? Yeah, that's always been a flaw to me too. And that's where most of the resources are up out of. And you're right downtown. You've got the county building, clerks and office, this, that, and the other, where you can do all of your business right there in town. Well, now they got to start talking about this. They got this big RV that they use for the county. They need to be taking that RV around to the homeless encampments and doing physicals and wellness checks and blood pressure and all types of shit. Let's get that thing out. Let's not just have town halls with the board of commissioners having coffee in the community. Fuck your coffee and the community, okay? Okay? I don't need board of commissioners driving around in the county's RV having town halls, mobile town halls. No, get down to the homeless encampments and take care of those folks, because they're a part of your ward too. So they have shelters that you can only go to if you're abused? You got to get your ass beat to get into a shelter? Who makes these rules? Where the fuck does this come from? You can't go to a shelter just because you're homeless? You got to go in there with a black eye? The fuck is that? Oh, wow. Kids ain't safe at school. Kids ain't even safe in a goddamn shelter. This is Washtenaw County, one of the richest counties in the state. Absolutely. Absolutely. But hey, y'all, I appreciate you. As it shouldn't have been. As it shouldn't have been. If you cut one of the heads off of a two-headed monster, you don't have a monster anymore. If it's a two-headed monster, it doesn't become a one-headed monster when you cut one of the heads off. You're an endangered species now. When they break families up, they think they're doing something by, oh, we'll keep the women and the children together, but then the man's over here. Or men can go here, but they can't bring their women and their children. When you break the family up, that's the first mistake. Honors to them. honors to them. There's still some humans in these games. There's still some humans in these games. There's still some people that will not play politics with homelessness. Because, see, a lot of people play politics with homelessness. A lot of politicians play politics with homelessness. That's why we've got to have open campaigning this year. We need to get these board of commissioners up out the fucking paint. Washtenaw County board of commissioners ain't worth a shit across the board. I don't like none of them no more, goddammit. And we're going to get to talking about that shit soon, too. This craziness, the way things have unraveled here in the last quarter. And maybe some of it's justified with the commissioners and the sheriff's department. But there's a whole lot of other shit that goes on that we need to talk about. And homelessness is one of them. But I tell you, so I'm still in contact this day with them, send them pics of the kids. Beautiful. Make sure you keep up with them. People who extend an olive branch deserve that. It lets them know what they did is worth what they do, and they'll continue to do. We just need more of those people that are in those positions to do that. That's what we need. We need more of those types of individuals. We don't need political propagandists where homelessness is concerned. We don't need people saying, well, what can we do? How can we help? And then do absolutely nothing. And there's a bunch of politicians out there that do that shit. How can we help? And how can we do this? And how can we do that? And they don't do shit. Don't ask me what you can do, motherfucker, and then you don't do nothing. I don't need to be there with you. You don't need to be there with me. If you ask me what I need and you don't get me what I need, motherfucker, what you ask me for? What did you ask me for? I don't need you asking me shit if you ain't gonna do shit for me. This is me. You ask me, what the fuck could you do for me, and then you don't turn around and do nothing? Nah. Kick motherfucking rocks 3 times. Y'all be good out here, man. Y'all be safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And everything, I promise you, everything will work itself out. Take care of yourself. You can't take care of shit if you don't take care of yourself. And then you take care of each other. And then everything else will take care of itself. I don't have much more to say than that. Because if you don't take care of yourself and you don't take care of one another, how is anything going to take care of itself? That's just the way it is. Some of y'all I will talk to, maybe we'll see each other again in the chat room tomorrow, because I'm going to put up more content. Well, it ain't even going to be tomorrow. It's going to be later today. It's already 1:40, New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. To people that I won't see, but people that will come back, I appreciate y'all. Check in. Check in. Hopefully you are subscribing to The Real Villager on Deck on YouTube. Hopefully y'all subscribing to the YouTube channel. Hopefully you're following the Villager on Deck Facebook page. Hopefully you're following the Villager on Deck TikTok. Hopefully you're following the Villager on Deck Instagram. Hopefully you're following the Villager on Deck on Twitter, or X as most people call it. Hopefully y'all doing all that shit. Villager on Deck. Because I'm really just going by the Villager in 2026, because I'm going to be on a lot of shit. I'm going to be Villager on Deck. I'm going to be Villager on food. I'm going to be Villager on pedos. Villager on abusers. Villager on sports. Villager on immigration. Villagers on integration. I'm gonna be all over this shit. The village is gonna be everywhere. I'm gonna be on everything. 2026. Just gotta make it in. Gotta make it in, gotta make it through it. And I'm wishing that for everybody to get to that other side. We've lost a lot of people in 2025. We've lost a lot of people over the last several years. Lock arms. Lock arms, y'all. Ain't nobody coming to save us, okay? Ain't nobody coming to save us. I do appreciate everybody that has been in here for most of these. Got 199 of them down this year. We'll end right around 200, maybe 201. Maybe we'll go over 200 if I get 2 off tomorrow. But in talking about pupils and pedos and people on the street, we've got to go up from here. We've got to go up from here. But these are vulnerable individuals. Pupils are our children. Homeless people, there could be young ones, it could be children. Then adults, even elderly people. I see elderly homeless people, and it's tough for someone that's in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Now you got in your 60s and 70s, and they're on the street. Bodies aren't meant to take this type of shit. I mean, what is it right now? What is it right now? $17 degrees right now. 17 degrees. I mean, feels like 8 degrees with the wind chill. That's not meant for humans to be outside in. We've got to find something where those people in Washtenaw County can be indoors, especially on nights like this. Why don't we have temporary facilities that when it gets to these temperatures, sub-freezing temperatures, wind chill less than double digits, why isn't there somewhere in the county to make sure everybody's up off the street? Those encampments can't do shit for 8-degree wind chill. They can't. I know they can't. I've never been outside then, but just walking down the street in 8-degree wind chill, it's unbearable. Try putting in a hard 8 for sleeping hours in 8-degree weather. Try doing it. It won't work. It won't work. Something will happen to you. I don't really want to utter it, but nobody is meant to survive in that. You ain't living. And nobody is meant to survive in that. Y'all be good. I'll be better. One love.
Yeah, rappers stepping to me. They wanna get some, but I'm the cat, so yo, you know the outcome.
Rappers stepping to me. They wanna get some, but I'm the creeper, so yo, you know the outcome.
Rappers stepping to me. They wanna get some, but I'm the cat, so yo, you know the outcome.
Rappers stepping to me, they wanna get some, but I'm the creeper, so yo, you know the flow.
Who wanna see me act a fool? Grab the mic and broadcast like the 6 o'clock news. Reaching my peaks when I excite the crowd. And MCs get dealt with quick for crying out loud. I packed a little something every rump of your sons. Back happy in the house, I'll show you